Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanMuscle.com. Today I'm bringing you a detailed overview of the KONI STR.T shocks and struts kit, fitting on 94 to 04 GT, V6, and Mach 1s, as well as the 94 to 98 Cobras. In this video, I'll be going over the performance and benefits added to your suspension when upgrading to the KONI shocks and struts kit, as well as all the materials and construction that goes into the kit. I'll top the video off with the install, which I'll let you know up front here gets a 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter, simply because this isn't the hardest job in the world, but it is a bit more involved than a direct bolt-on. The KONI STR.T shock and strut kit I have with me today will be for any 94 to 04 GT, V6, or Mach 1 owner, as well as any 94 to 98 Cobra owner who's looking to pick up a pretty serious suspension upgrade to improve their ride quality overall without picking up something as expensive as a fully adjustable ride setup. So the first things first, I want to point out when exactly it may be a good time to pick up a new set of shocks and struts. If you're currently driving your new Edge or early SN95 Mustang and you're feeling a sense of poor ride quality, or if you're feeling kind of every bump on the road, it may be time to upgrade those factory shocks and struts. Now if that's the case, the KONI STR.Ts, otherwise known as the KONI Orange, as you can see by their finish, are a perfect upgrade for the guys out there currently running factory shocks and struts and want a better ride quality without having to feel every bump in the road. You get a sense of more stability while also getting a sense of better ride comfort. This is even going to be a really good setup for the guys out there running a daily driver, a weekend warrior, and maybe just the occasional track queen. So the KONI STR.Ts, or the KONI Orange, like I said, are one step below the KONI Sport adjustables, which actually have a full range of adjustability. Now these KONI STR.Ts do not have that. These are actually a fixed dampening, basically meaning they have the exact same dampening you get right out of the box with no adjustability. Now like I said, this is perfect for the street guys out there, maybe the occasional track queen. If you're looking for a bit more, if you're going to the track a lot more often, or if you're taking hard corners a lot more, you might want to think about picking up the adjustability option with the KONI Sports, simply because you can actually fine-tune it a lot more to your preference. So I firsthand can actually tell you I have this exact kit installed on my 95 Cobra, and you might actually recognize that from the November hot lap. But with that said, I can tell you firsthand that this is a very comfortable ride suspension for the front and rear. You don't feel many bumps on the road, and I'm actually very happy with their performance. There isn't very much in the world that I trade these for. Now as far as materials and construction goes, this option here, both front and rear, are designed with a gas pressurized twin tube design with a larger diameter piston, which give this all the more comfort and ride stability. Now KONI has been making shocks and struts for literally decades now, so it would not be a KONI option without the orange finish with the KONI logo printed right on the tubing here. My personal opinion, this is one of the best suspension upgrades without actually going up to a sport adjustable. Now one of the great things about this particular option is they are made to work with either your stock ride height or lowering springs as well. Now if you're picking up lowering springs, this is a perfect time to pick up a KONI Sport adjustable, and vice versa, since the installation is very similar. You are going to have to remove the springs and whatnot in order to get these installed, and to do the same exact thing with the opposite side if you're picking up lowering springs. Now, with that said, these are made to work with any ride height in particular, so no matter what your spring rate is or whatever your spring drop is, these are going to be working perfectly with that. Now, with that said, if you're looking to pick up a fully adjustable option that you can tweak on the fly depending on your personal ride preference and what you're doing with that particular day, you might want to check out the KONI Sport adjustables, which I just mentioned, which are actually going to be a yellow finish. So if you check those KONI yellows out, they're going to be on the site as well. So if you're looking to pick up the KONI Orange setup for yourself, expect to be spending somewhere in the $400 region, which is actually kind of considered a more budget-friendly option. Now, as you can see when you're looking around on the site, there's a lot of adjustability options out there, as well as some fixed damperings like this one here. Now, if you're not looking for the adjustable option, I would definitely point you in the direction of the KONI Orange. Shifting gears over to the install portion of the video, like I said in the very beginning, this isn't something that is going to be a direct bolt-on. It's a little more involved than that, but it's not the hardest job in the world. We're going to give it a 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter and give it something you can expect to finish in about 4 hours or so, maybe the better part of the afternoon. Now with that said, you're going to want to have some very specific hand tools on deck, like a ratchet and a simple socket set, as well as a jack and jack stand or a lift if you have access to one, and you'll definitely want to have a spring compressor on hand to safely and properly remove and reinstall your springs. Just to give you an idea of kind of a rough overview of what you'd be working with as far as the install is concerned, you're going to want to make sure your car's in the air safely and supported on jack stands. For the front, you want to remove one of the wheels, drop the entire brake assembly out of the way, remove the top strut tower from under the hood, remove the bolts holding on that top strut, remove the bolts on the bottom where the end links are, and of course pull the whole strut out of the system. Now you're going to have to use that spring compressor to safely and properly remove those springs, and of course transfer them over to the new KONI setup. Now you're going to reinstall everything in the exact reverse order, pull the brake assembly back up into place, bolt everything down to spec. Now the top and bottom of the struts will actually torque down to somewhere around 85 foot-pounds, but you want to make sure you're consulting your user's manual or some kind of installation guide before you actually torque it down to any spec. Moving on to the rears, this is going to be extremely similar to the front with the exception of a few minor changes. The top of the shock can actually be found inside the trunk liner, so you want to keep that in mind while you're tackling this. And if you're handling lowering springs at the same time as well, which is highly recommended since it's so similar of an install, you're going to support the weight of the differential housing in order to slip out the rear springs. And once that's all said and done, you can wrap it up doing the exact same thing in the reverse order to install the KONI setup. Repeat the process for all of the wheels there and you're good to go. Now I am going to give this one a 2 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Like I said, it's a little bit more involved than a direct bolt-on, so you're going to want to have a little bit of mechanical expertise or some kind of knowledge on hand, if not just have a helping hand on deck. All said and done, 4 hours on the install or the better part of an afternoon and you're good to go. Wrapping things up, if you're the owner of a 94 to 04 GT, V6, or Mach 1, or a 94 to 98 Cobra, and you're interested in upgrading your suspension package, such as your shocks and struts, to something a lot more comfortable and street performance ready, you might want to check out the KONI STR.T shock and strut kit, available right here at AmericanMuscle.com.